y'all, it's Chelsea, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a weekly reading vlog. We're gonna try once again to get back into the swing of things. So I took a week off from everything YouTube related. I don't have any plans for this week. I'm actually in kind of a slump still after everything that happened. So I'm not really sure where this is gonna go. But I do have some big news, and I wanted to bring you along for that journey because I feel like many of y'all are going to be quite shook. I'm tired of audiobooks. You heard me correctly. It took 2 years, but I am tired of audiobooks. If you've been here since the beginning of my channel, you would have heard me say, word for word, I don't like audiobooks. It wasn't until I started this job that I'm at that I started listening to audiobooks, and that was just for my own sanity. I needed something to keep my mind busy. I don't think I ever would have picked up audiobooks if it wasn't for this job. I feel like I would still just be reading with my eyeballs. It's been about 2 years now that I've listened to audiobooks all day, every day, 45 hours a week, give or take a day here and there when I'm out for whatever reason. And I'm finally done, I think. I at least need a break. I haven't listened to anything on audio for 2 weeks now. We're going into week 3. I have no plans to go back to it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've been binging Gilmore Girls at work, and I'm almost done with that. So I don't know what I'm going to do once that's finished. I think I'm in the last season. So that's going to be a journey that we're going to take because I'm burnt out. I think I'm done. So I don't know how much reading is actually going to get done, but I do have many a book on my TBR still. And thankfully, I don't have any other audiobooks that are on there. They're all ebooks and physical reads. So I decided to dive back into The Stand by Stephen King. I'm about 270 pages into this still. I was reading this quite quickly for me. This was my bedtime book for a while, and I just put it down for whatever reason and just never picked it back up, but I want to continue on with it. So this is a pandemic book, essentially. Like, there's this pandemic that wipes out like 90% of the Earth's population or something like that, and then you have Team Good, who is Mother Abigail, and then you have Team Bad, which is Randall Flagg. And in true Stephen King fashion, I'm on page 270. I have not even met Mother Abigail yet, and I met Randall Flagg for one scene, but literally all he was doing was walking down a street at night alone, and then the motherfucker starts to levitate, and then the chapter ends, and I haven't seen him since. I always find it so funny that I generally like Stephen King novels because for me, I don't like to meander. I don't like to bullshit around. I like to get to the point and have things moving. Otherwise, it's just like, why does it exist? But for whatever reason, in most Stephen King novels, I don't feel that way. I'm here for the ride, and wherever he wants to take me, I'll go, usually. So I'm not minding it in this one. I did pick this up originally because I was going to do a Mother's Day vlog where I was going to read all of my mom's favorite books, but all of my mom's favorite books are this big. So I'm still going to read them. It just won't be for a dedicated vlog. And this is one of them. This is one of my mom's favorite books. And I can see why. I'm having a good time so far, even though I feel like because I haven't even met one of the main characters yet, and I've only seen the other guy for a second, that I haven't even gotten into the meat of the story yet. But I'm having a good time otherwise. Beebs is also reading, so we'll probably get an update from her later. And we're just going to see where this week takes us. I really don't know, especially now that I don't have audiobooks to kind of supplement my chats with you. I don't even know if I'll finish anything this week, but I don't care. I'm going to put laundry away. It's very exciting in this house. reading?
Just for Summer by Abby Jimenez.
What page are you on?
203, chapter 23.
You like it?
I love it.
It's good.
I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I picked it up on a whim. I actually picked this up off of Book of the Month for her.
And I DNF'd it.
She didn't like it at all, but I love it. I have laughed a lot. I've cried. It's really good. It has some really good, touching lines in here, if you like that sort of stuff.
She's even got tabs in there. Look at her go.
I would definitely say to pick this up, for sure. If you haven't read it, try to read it. It's a good one.
Look at how cute you are. Look how cute she is.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. If you can hear the heater, I apologize. I am freezing. Update on the stand. I made it to page 308 last night. Yeah, I really got those pages in last night. It was just one of those nights where it's like every time you sit down to try and do something, you have to fucking get back up to do something. It's the price I pay for having as many animals as I do. Just, it is what it is. Remember how I told y'all that I hadn't seen this Randall Flagg individual, 270 pages, and I hadn't seen him. He made his appearance on page 270. I just needed to continue reading the chapter that I was in, and then poof, there he was. So I thought that was really funny. We're still like in the pandemic-y part of the book, where like it's still spreading throughout the world. We just got a perspective from somebody who is in a maximum security prison when all of this is going down, and like the guards and everybody just stop showing up. So like everyone who's locked in there, like they're locked in there. So they're literally just starving to death. And it was very sad. That chapter was hard for me to read. I thought that was just so sad. But it's true. Like if that shit were to happen, like no one is going to let any of these people out. Especially at the rate at which all of the world is deteriorating. It's like a super flu. Like once you get it, like you're out. You have like maybe 2 days and like you're fucking down for the count. So you're not just gonna let these people go because you think that you're sick. Like the government, in true government fashion, is not treating it as a pandemic. They're treating it like a flu. So you know how that goes. So it was very sad that this man is just locked in this cell and he's starving to death. That's the kind of shit you find in Stephen King books. So like, I'm really not surprised. And like, there's dead dogs everywhere. Like every time there's a dead dog on the street, Stephen King tells you that there's a dead dog in the street. I don't think that I don't recall there being any on-page death, but like someone will be walking down the street and it's like, oh, and then there's a dead dog and there's a dead dog. And I'm like, sir, I get it. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading this morning or if I'm going to read on my Kindle. I may read on my Kindle just because I have soup in here and I need to drink my coffee and it's less hands. But I don't know. I guess I'll let you know when I figure it out. Happy Tuesday. I don't have any reading updates for you, but I do have some updates. So I finished Gilmore Girls at work today, and I cried at the end.
So I started A Year in the Life, which I haven't watched like since it first came out. And it's even worse the second time around. Like, it's so bad. I'm still watching it though, but it is so bad. And today, Beebs took me out for dinner and we went to Applebee's and they brought back Dollaritas and I had some and it was good. And my favorite thing after having margaritas at Applebee's is to go to Half Price Books. And I found my husband. I don't think I was vlogging when I read this book. I read it last week or the week before, and I gave it 4 stars. I really, really, really liked it. I really liked it. I put it on my wish list like immediately, so I'm really glad that I found it out in the wild. According to the sticker, it had only been on the shelves for 3 days. I'm so excited to have this. This was not something I thought that I was gonna like. Beebs told me to pick this one up, and it was available through the library, so I just did. And I loved it. I thought it was so hilarious. I had such a good time with it. I did not see that epilogue coming. Highly recommend. If you have read this book and you have recommendations for books that are like this, please let me know. I would love to know because I really, really, really like this and I'm so happy I have it. Oh, I love finding a good book out in the wild. But it's late in this household and I still have to wash my hair. I was supposed to prep my wrap up because the plan was to film it tomorrow, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't think anyone cares about my upload schedule except for me, so yeah. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and I barely have a reading update for you. So I finished Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life, and it was very disappointing. I didn't know what to do after I finished it. So, because Welcome to Night Vale is one of my all-time favorite books, I thought that I would finally try out the podcast, have volumes 1 and 2 of the bind-ups of the podcast episodes. Now, before I get into this, I love this book. It was a 5-star book, and I hated all of the sequels. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, and I hated every single one. So going into this one, I was very, very hesitant because obviously this is the source material. It was a podcast before it was anything else. I didn't even make it through the pilot episode. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I hated everything about it. I don't know how far I got into the first episode, but it wasn't very far. And I can't do it. So these will be getting unhauled, which is fine because these are obviously on my physical TBR and I've been trying to read that down this year and I haven't gotten to anything over there in like a month now. So this is 2 books knocked off the list. We're just going to let them go and the 2 volumes I'm missing can come off of my Amazon wish list. So it's a win. I thought maybe I would give audiobooks another try today just to see what's what, and also my loan for An Ember in the Ashes is due back in a few days, and I already know that I love this book, and I've never heard the audio before, so I just wanted to try it out and see. The audiobook is fine. There's nothing wrong with the audiobook. I am still not in the mood to listen to audiobooks, and also this is too sad right now. I made it about an hour in on 1.25 speed, and the main character's grandparents have already been murdered right in front of her. A 10-year-old boy was just whipped to death. Like, I'm not in the right headspace for this series, and I should have known better, but I still really want to get to this series. I really want to do a reread before October. And that's my update for today. I don't have anything else going on. I've been feeling sick all day, and it has nothing to do with the Dollaritas from yesterday. I only had 2, and I was completely sober by the time I went to bed. But I've been feeling sick all day. I don't feel as sick as I did in the morning. The morning was real bad. Really bad. So I'm just going to take it easy tonight. I'm still reading The Stand. I read it last night before bed, but I'm not making enough progress to really have anything new to say about it. Good morning. Happy
Happy Thursday. I am just here because I have a little update on the stand for you. So last night I finally made it to book 2. I made it to 400 pages. Well, technically 399, but I'm counting it as 400 pages. I would have crossed over that mark, but the next chapter is 30 pages, and I just didn't have that kind of commitment. Not last night, but the night before, I stopped like mid chapter, mid page, mid sentence because I was tired. So I didn't do that tonight. So I'm on chapter 43. And just one of my favorite things about Stephen King novels is just the unnecessary length. Like I'm really enjoying it in this one. Like I'm not disliking any of my time here. It took me 180 pages to meet Randall Flagg, and I met Mother Abigail briefly last night on page 372. I feel like because this is like a pandemic, apocalyptic type novel, he's really got the scope down in what's going on like all over the country. We did have a whole chapter where it was just kind of snippets of just random people, like little slice of life segments of people who are dying after like the pandemic has calmed down. Like all the people who are still living are ones who were like immune to the super flu, and it's talking about how like there's still random deaths happening just for various reasons. There's a little section about this little boy. I think he's 5.5 years old, and his entire family died in the pandemic. And he's all by himself. And this poor boy is just walking through all of these like blackberry bushes somewhere. I don't know exactly where he's located. And he falls into a hole and he breaks both of his legs, and it takes him 20 hours to die. And it's just like a little section, like maybe a page and a half, maybe. But that little boy is going to live in my head for like a really long time. So it's just, it's a very large scope of happenings. I feel like if you've never read Stephen King before, this might not be the best one to start with. But because I already know, and like I'm a tried and true Stephen King reader, I'm really enjoying this one. I think this one could also be one of my favorites, like my mom, which is fun. So I'm about to start book 2. I'm definitely not going to finish this in this vlog. I'm definitely probably not going to finish it this month because I am reading it with my eyes. But it's nice to kind of dedicate some time to it and just to make some progress, because I feel like I was stuck in the 200 pages forever. So it's nice to finally see that bookmark moving a bit. I really don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the day in terms of listening to things. I'm kind of tapped out.
Hey y'all, it's Drew Aldridge here. I wrote this song for my wife. It's just a reminder for myself to know if I break her heart.
Happy Thursday. I am sorry that literally every single talking update has been exactly in this spot, but it is what it is. So I do have a reading update for you today, even though I was at work all day. I did listen to an audiobook. It took a minute because I DNF'd 3 along the way, so I'm still not there. And I don't know if it's just because I didn't like the books. One of them, I'm pretty sure, it was just because I didn't like it, because I tried to read the ebook of it too, and I didn't make it past like 2 pages. And it was the same with the audiobook. That was Dragon Fruit. I DNF'd it. I don't care. It's not for me. I also DNF'd Thirst and Feel Good Productivity, I think is what it's called. I just didn't care, so I put them down. I DNF'd them all like extremely early on. Like I literally have no thoughts. Like I was in there less than 20 minutes. So there's that. I did decide to continue with An Ember in the Ashes. I didn't know how to spend my work day, and it ended up being like a busier afternoon. So I needed something going that wasn't just music. So I decided to continue with Ember in the Ashes. I did find myself thinking about it earlier in the morning, so I threw it on and it's working for now. Like it's It's not ideal, but again, like I don't know what I'm in the mood to listen to right now. So drop your recommendations down below. If you have like cool podcasts or anything like that, or even just like your favorite music, like I need something new. I need something fresh, something that's not an audiobook. But since this is a reread for me, I think it helps in that aspect where even though I haven't reread this, I want to say, ooh, I haven't done a reread of this in maybe 5 years or more. I'm not sure. I'd have to check Goodreads, but it's been a really long time. So I'm remembering things as I'm reading, but I couldn't like give you major plot points or reveals off the top of my head. It's not until I'm like hearing things where I'm just like, oh yeah. Like I forgot all about Cook until we were introduced to her. And if you know, you know. If you know where that goes, then you know where that goes. So I was just like, oh, like so I'm remembering things as I'm reading. It is fun that even on audio I still hate Helene. I am not looking forward to the sequels because she gets her own perspective in the sequels. At least in this one, I just have to like hear her. I don't have to be in her head. I don't like her. I've never liked her, and I just think it's funny that my hatred for her translates into the audiobook as well. So that was my day. I don't have anything exciting going on again this evening. It's time to wash this hair. This braid is looking a little rough, and Beebs and I are probably going to read. It's kind of rainy and gloomy and kind of chilly outside, so we're going to go ahead and do that and just hang out. And tomorrow's Friday, and I'm really happy about that, actually. Happy Friday, everybody. I have reading updates for you. It's been a really slow going week, but I finished 2 books today. Finished 2 whole books today. So this morning I decided to just finally crank out Fragile Animals. This is the e-arc that I've been reading for what feels like literal weeks now, and I'm so fucking happy to be done with it. Not because it wasn't good. I've been in it too long and I was ready to move on. So I did only give it a 3-star. I really liked like the weird take on the vampire story, and I like how it was kind of like ambiguous a bit. And I also really enjoyed, I guess enjoyed is the wrong word. I was really fascinated by Noelle and her struggle with her faith. I'm not a religious person, but I've consumed enough media and know enough people to know what Catholic guilt is. It was an interesting perspective to read from. And also, I really appreciate that Noelle's name is Noelle because that's my middle name. That is the best spelling. That's the best spelling. And also today, I finished An Ember in the Ashes. I finished this on audio today. I finished it around lunchtime. I think I'm going to give it a 4 or a 5-star. I can't remember what I rated it last, but it was so fucking good. Like, this may have been published in 2015, but it still holds up, and it is still so good. And I feel like it, in a way, it's even better upon reread, because though I'm rusty on the series as a whole, I was remembering so many things that are going to happen in future books as I was being introduced to things in book 1. So it's just so well crafted. Like, Sabaa Tahir is a true gem. She's such a good author, and I feel like even though I know that this is a really popular series, I feel like it's not hyped up enough. So I'm really glad that they recently got like anniversary covers, so hopefully it will bring in more new people, and especially with Air coming out, I hope it'll bring more people to this series because I believe that it's worth your time. I did get the other 3 books on audio for next week because I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for. But I really enjoyed this. And though I'm still not technically in an audiobook mood, I feel like a reread could at least get me through my work shifts. So it is Friday, it is the weekend. I was going to carry this through the weekend, but I think that I'm going to close it out here. I don't think I'll be doing much more reading. I don't think I'll be doing anything worth checking in on. May has been a hard month. It's been a really hard month. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate every single one of you who watches until the end. If you did make it to the end, leave me a heart emoji, any color of your choosing. I just need a little love this week, this month, this year. So just drop a heart emoji down in the comments. Any color you choose, surprise me. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Things have been a little off kilter the last few uploads, but I'm trying my best to be as consistent as I can be, and I promise I will get that wrap up. I will get it filmed, I'll get it edited, I'll do the thing. And just thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in a new one. Bye.